even in this industry, the biggest ones are, and they'll go negative for periods of time. So they'll like, they have like yield curves, right? So they're looking at like, well, we're going to spend this much to outpace, but eventually the renewals are going to pick up at this point, but pro forma projections that show if we spend this much, if we do this, in 3 years, we're going to be at X, right? And they're showing like next year will be negative $4 million in revenue, but then we'll be 25 million net by 2028. So and that's on high gross revenue, but it's just scaling faster than they can. Every bit of scaling I've ever done has always been done with margins we can create, living within the profitability of the business. But these guys out there that know how to leverage debt and stuff effectively and believe in their business and believe in the market they're in, they can technically scale faster. It's just I just haven't wanted to do it. I'm pretty aggressive, but that level of risk taking doesn't make sense to me. Especially when you already have a business that is worth a certain amount of value, like you're risking all that value for this perceived additional value, knowing that if you sold your business like, oh, we're going to sell it for $250 million in 2028. I don't know. What's the difference at a certain point? Like, at least to the point of why would I go and risk it all, taking on all this debt? I just wouldn't do that.
So are you're still looking to turn a profit on like ROAS year one?
Yeah, we look at year one as the break-even point, but there are some lead sources we would be okay with 18 months on. But at the levels that we have and the cross-sell potential, mostly my 18-month break-evens are my newer agents when I start to put them on a more expensive lead source. So there's some times where technically on that individual sale it's an 18-month break-even, but over the whole thing we're really looking at 12-month break-even. And honestly, what we do is look at it once a month and just try to see what our cost per acquisition is, what our LTV is. And one thing we've been trying to do is remove as many internal rewrites and things from that, which is difficult sometimes because they're not properly reporting on it. So we're working on, like, we've been removing them, but some of those might get in there, which makes the CPA look lower. But not that there's no value to internal rewrites. You just don't want it to be on your growth, projections. So, although a lot of times when we bought business or when we worked with agencies, a lot of times they're sleeping on just going back and rewriting their own book, like how much additional revenue they can create that way.
You kidding me, man? This is the greatest conference all time. It's like nothing I've seen before. Coming back next year. The business is rapidly changing, and if you're not educating yourself, you're going to be left behind.
Great thing about Medicare Con and really any of these types of events, this one's so big, is you have all these people from chasing different pursuits in their business coming together and joining and sharing information. That's the best part of this. The conversations I've had with these guys right here, things that I wouldn't get just talking on the phone or anything like that. And the content here, it's been awesome. And Justin's done a great job, man.